Hi and welcome to another story, and today we have part 5 of the 39 Storey Treehouse by Andy Griffiths and Terry Denton, continuing from chapter 10. Bloof, blort, blap. Ouch, my aching head, says Professor Stupido. Where are we? Well, I say, judging by the grass, the shade and all the trees, I'd say we're in some sort of forest. I think you're right, Andy, says Terry, because look, over there is a sign saying some sort of forest. Actually, I say, looking around, that's one of your signs, and this is our forest. Yes, says Terry, and there's our treehouse. Uh-oh, I say, watch out, here come the hands. Slap, slap, slap. What's happening, says Professor Stupido. It's the machine we were telling you about, I say. It slaps us away whenever we get too close to the treehouse. I'll soon put a stop to that, says Professor Stupido. I hereby uninvent the machine that you created, the one you thought you wanted, but then you found you hated. Bloof! Yay, says Terry. Thanks, Professor, you're the best. Don't mention it, says Professor Stupido. Is there anything else you would like uninvented while I'm at it? No, that won't be necessary, I say quickly, before he can uninvent anything we don't want uninvented. I expect you'll be wanting to get back to the dark side of the moon now, so we'll just draw another rocket and get you on your way. Hold on, says the Professor, not so fast. What about those marshmallows I was promised? Come inside, says Terry, and have as many as you like. And we've also got a lemonade fountain, a chocolate waterfall, and a 78 flavour ice cream parlour. It's not hot ice cream, is it? Says Professor suspiciously. I hate hot ice cream. No, it's cold ice cream, says Terry. That's the only sort we have on Earth now. You uninvented hot ice cream, remember? Oh, so I did, he chuckles. I've uninvented so many things, it's hard to keep track of them all. We let ourselves into the treehouse, and as soon as we're inside, the marshmallow machine senses how hungry we are and starts firing marshmallows at us. Terry and I open our mouths and start swallowing as fast as we can, but Professor Stupido puts up his hands and yells, "Oh no, we're under attack again!" "No, we're not," I try to explain, through a mouthful of marshmallows. The marshmallow machine is just doing what it's supposed to do. But I don't think Professor Stupido understands me, because he points at the machine and says, I uninvent this mad machine and all the world's marshmallows. Serves it right for hurting me and you two fine young fellows. No, no! Blot! Suddenly, the marshmallow machine is gone. You idiot, says Terry. You uninvented our marshmallow machine. What are we going to eat now? Uh-oh. I haven't known Professor Stupido for very long, but I'm guessing he's not the sort of person you should call an idiot. Did I hear correctly, boy? Says the Professor, glaring at Terry. Did you just call me an idiot? Terry looks terrified. He stammers. Well, says the Professor, I'm waiting. No, says Terry, thinking faster than I've ever seen him think before. I said, thanks for getting rid of it. Professor Stupido beams at Terry. Oh, don't mention it, he says. Nothing gives me more pleasure than to uninvent annoying and dangerous things. And speaking of dangerous, is that a tank of man-eating sharks I see? Yes, I say nervously, but they're not dangerous. They only eat fish. They did eat Captain Woodenhead, though, says Terry. So they are man-eaters, says the Professor. I knew it. I'll have them uninvented in a jiffy. Please don't uninvent them, I say. Man-eating sharks are cool. They're not cool, they're cruel, says the Professor, and that's exactly why I'm going to uninvent them. Stand back. Their teeth are big and pointy, and they chew up men for fun. I hereby uninvent all sharks, yes, each and every one. Blap! I stare at the empty shark tank. I think Professor Stupido may have become a bigger threat to the treehouse than the once-upon-a-time machine. We have to get rid of him, and fast. But before I can say or do anything, a bowling ball falls through the air, narrowly misses Professor Stupido's head, bang, and crashes down onto the floor beside him. Oh my goodness, says Professor Stupido. Is there a bowling alley up there? Yeah, says Terry. Our treehouse has got everything. Not any more it hasn't, says Professor Stupido. I won't waste time or pause, or delay or dilly-dally. I'll uninvent at once the annoying bowling alley. Bloof. Oh no, I say. There goes our bowling alley. Yes, says Terry, but look on the bright side. At least he didn't uninvent the penguins. Penguins, says Professor Stupido. Did you say penguins? Can't stand them. They're even worse than frogpotamuses. I'll uninvent them right away. The penguin is a silly bird with useless little wings. I hereby uninvent them all, those stupid, flightless things. Blot! Professor Stupido has barely finished uninventing penguins when the doorbell rings. Ring, ring, ring. What's that annoying ringing noise, he says. It's just the doorbell, I say quickly, but please don't uninvent it or we won't know when someone's at the door. All right, says the Professor, I won't uninvent your precious doorbell. Hi, Andy. Hi, Terry, calls a familiar voice. Mail. Who's that? Says Professor Stupido. It's Bill, says Terry. Bill the postman. Any mail for me? Says the professor. I'll just check, says Bill. What's your name? Professor Stupido, he says. I'm afraid not, says Bill. Blast it all, says the professor. I hate not getting mail. Consider yourself and all your kind uninvented, Bill the postman. I hereby uninvent postal workers everywhere. How will people get their mail? I tell you, I don't care. Blap! Poor Bill. Terry and I look at each other but don't dare say a thing. Professor Stupido yawns. All this uninventing has made me tired, he says. I think I'll have a little rest. Phew, I whisper to Terry. At least he won't be able to uninvent anything while he's asleep. Professor Stupido has only been gone for a few minutes when the loudest guitar solo you ever heard fills the treehouse. There's only one guitar player on the earth who can play that loudly. Well, maybe two, and I'm pretty sure Professor Stupido is not going to like either of them. Professor Stupido climbs back down the ladder. I can't sleep, he shouts over the music. What is that awful racket? That's not an awful racket, says Terry. That's Jimi Hendrix and Superfinger. They're playing at the Opera House. Not any more they're not, says Professor Stupido. Your guitar is way too loud, and you're a really awful singer, so I uninvent you, Jimi Hendrix, and that stupid Superfinger. Bloof. Oh no, says Terry. You uninvented Jimi Hendrix. And Superfinger, I say. What will all the people with problems requiring finger-based solutions do now? I can fix that, says the professor. I'll just uninvent problems requiring finger-based solutions. But before he can do that, the Trunkinator stomps into the room and punches him in the nose. Sock! What was that for? Says the professor, looking up at the Trunkinator. I think he's upset about you uninventing Jimi Hendrix, says Terry. Yeah, he's a big fan, I say. Possibly the biggest. The professor tries to get up, but the Trunkinator smashes him back down and starts flattening him like a pancake. Right, that's it, pal, shouts the professor. You're uninvented. I hereby uninvent your boxing Trunkinator. I guess it's fair to say that I'm a Trunkinator hater. Bloof! Rumble, rumble, rumble. Suddenly the tree starts to shake. What's that, I say? What's happening now? It sounds like the Trunkinator stomping around, says Terry. But the Trunkinator just got uninvented, I say. Then it must be the volcano, says Terry. I think it's erupting. But when you put it in, you promised me it was the non-erupting kind, I say. I know, says Terry, but it looks like I was wrong. Anyone can make a little mistake. This is not a little mistake, I yell. It's a huge disaster. No problem, says the professor. I'll just uninvent volcanoes. But I love volcanoes, says Terry. So you'd rather be covered in red-hot lava, says the professor incredulously. Let me think, says Terry. It's not something you need to think about, Terry, I say. I turn to the professor. Uninvent volcanoes, quick! Consider it done, says the professor. I do not like volcanoes that smoke and spit and spew. I interrupt your eruption by uninventing you. Blot! Oh no, says Terry. How are we going to toast our marshmallows now? Don't worry about it, I say. There's no such thing as marshmallows anymore, remember? Professor Stupido uninvented them. Oh yeah, says Terry sadly. I remember. That's when we hear the unmistakable sound of Professor Stupido uninventing something else. Bloof! Uh-oh, says Terry. What has he uninvented now? I don't know, I say. Blot! But I've got a terrible feeling he's not going to be happy until he's uninvented everything. Blap! Chapter 11. Blam, bloot, bling. Stop, I yell. But Professor Stupido doesn't stop. He keeps right on uninventing. And uninventing. Blam! And uninventing. Bloot! And uninventing. Blam, bloot, blim, gling, bling, blam, bloot, bling, blam, bloot, bling, bloot, blam, blam, bling, bloot, bling, bloot, blam. Until all that is left of our treehouse is the tree. Our treehouse, says Terry. Our 39-storey treehouse. It's gone. All gone. You've uninvented the whole thing. Now it's nothing but a 39-storey-less tree. Says Professor Stupido, stroking his chin. Good point. I'll uninvent that for you as well. This tree serves no purpose, as far as I can see. There, it's uninvented, and it's all thanks to me. Bling! Our tree, I say. You uninvented our tree. I think you'll find that one tree is very much like another, says Professor Stupido, and there's plenty more trees in the forest, which makes me think that I may as well uninvent the rest of them while I'm at it. What use to us are forests? They're just a bunch of trees. I'll uninvent a lot of them. The trunks, the twigs, the leaves. Blam! But what about all the birds and animals, says Terry. Where will they live now? No need to worry about that, says Professor Stupido. I'll just uninvent them. I'll uninvent the birds and all the earthly creatures, especially the snakes and those awful sucky leeches. Bloot! Ah, That's better, says Professor Stupido. And now that I've rid the world of all those pesky animals, I may as well finish the job and uninvent humans too. Terry and I gasp. Don't worry, chuckles Professor Stupido. I'll uninvent everybody except you. After all, you're the only ones who understand and appreciate my genius. I hereby uninvent the world's population. They dared to doubt my genius. Well, here's the confirmation. Bling! Oh no, I say. I think you've gone too far this time. On the contrary, says Professor Stupido calmly, I don't think I've gone nearly far enough. Imagine, if you will, a world in which there's not only no people, but there's also no world. I can't imagine a world with no world, says Terry. It doesn't make any sense. It makes perfect sense to me, says Professor Stupido. In fact, the very idea of it makes me want to sing. Imagine a world that has been uninvented. Think of all the problems that will now be prevented. No boxing elephants to punch your nose. No crabs at the beach to pinch your toes. No pollution. No smoking smokestacks. No overcrowded, confusing bike racks. No spots or pimples or itchy rashes. No tripping or falling or nasty crashes. No waste, no rubbish, no junk, no litter. No texting, no Facebook, no spam and no Twitter. No noise or fuss, no bother or mess. No need to worry or fret or stress. No more noisy sporting events, no more rained-out vacations in tents, no more warnings about global warming, no more boring boy bands forming, no more fights or bites or bruises, no more winners, no more losers, nothing to lose, nothing to gain, no more struggling and no more pain. How clean, how pure and perfectly silent, how wonderfully peaceful and not at all violent. Nobody could possibly be discontented in a world that I have uninvented. So I'll rid the world of the world itself, leaving just you two and, of course, myself. No! Blam! We are floating in space where the world used to be. Oh well, says Terry, our world might be gone, but let's look on the bright side. What bright side, I say? Well, at least we've still got the moon, the sun and all the planets. Thanks for reminding me, says Professor Stupido. I'll take care of them right away. I hereby uninvent the entire solar system, the sun and all its satellites. No one will ever miss them. Bloot! There's a blinding flash and then no more solar system. Oh, well, no use crying over an uninvented solar system, says Terry. At least he didn't uninvent the whole universe. What a good idea, says Professor Stupido. Thank you so much, Terry. I'll get right to it. You and your big mouth, Terry, I say. Relax, he says, as if he could even do that. Professor Stupido takes a deep breath. I'm going to do it instantly. I'm going to be the first. I will now attempt to uninvent the entire universe. Bang! I've done it, says Professor Stupido. I've uninvented the entire universe. Nobody has ever uninvented this much stuff before. I'm definitely, without doubt, the greatest uninventor who ever lived. What are we going to do? I whisper to Terry. It's only a matter of time before he uninvents us as well. I know, says Terry. I wish he would uninvent himself. That's it, I say. What? We'll challenge him to uninvent himself, I say. What do you think? It's definitely worth a try, says Terry. If anyone could do it, he could. Hey, Professor, I say. We just thought of something you just can't uninvent. Ridiculous, says the Professor. There is nothing I can't uninvent. What about yourself, says Terry. I bet you can't uninvent that. Of course I can uninvent myself, says Professor Stupido. But why would I want to deprive us all of the greatest uninventor who ever lived? Oh, no reason, I say, except perhaps to prove beyond all doubt that you actually could uninvent yourself. But we all know I could, says the Professor. I mean, I uninvented the entire universe. To uninvent myself would be child's play in comparison. Do you know what I think, says Terry? I think you're chicken. I'm not chicken. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. 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 Yes, you are. No, I'm not, says Professor Stupido. And I'll prove it, once and for all. You think I can't uninvent myself? Well, that's where you are wrong. Look, see, I can do it. I am here, but now I'm gone. Bling. We did it, I say. We tricked Professor Stupido into uninventing himself. Well, what are we waiting for, says Terry. Let's go back to the treehouse. There's just one little problem, I say. There is no treehouse. No treehouse, no tree, no anything. He uninvented everything. Every single thing. No problem, says Terry. Stand clear. Why, I say. What are you going to do? I'm going to draw it all back again, says Terry. And that is where we will leave part 5 of the 39-Storey Treehouse by Andy Griffiths and Terry Denton. I'll be back soon with the next part of this fantastic story and lots more stories and videos coming your way very soon. If you'd like to subscribe or hit a like, that's always appreciated. Thanks for listening, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.